So there was someone telling people what Pokemon types are its characters. So someone did Pokemon, did Smash Brothers, did Sonic, and now Animal Crossing. But what would Dragon Ball? What type of characters would Dragon Ball characters be? So, of course, majority of the characters would be fighting types, that's for sure. So, Goku, of course, would be fighting type. And either fire type because or psychic type because Ki is basically using the mind to use his powers, or electric type because Kamehamehas and all that stuff are using plasma. The same could apply to Vegeta, and also earlier Vegeta could be also part dark type. But there's another villain that could be part dark type. Next is Bulma. She would probably be steel type since of all the weapons she uses and stuff, basically. And all the spaceships and stuff that he can make, and normal type because he's a normal person, basically. Master Roshi would be fighting type because he is a buff man. He can turn into buff man in his pure 100% fighting type form. But other than that, Mr. Roshi is just an old guy, so out of his buff form, he'll just be normal type because he's just a normal old man, basically. But Master Roshi in his powerful form is fighting type. Next is Yamcha. Yamcha's weak type. Okay, we're moving on. Okay, let's talk about Yamcha. Yamcha would also be pure fighting type. It's actually a Dragon Ball Z fighting game. Yeah, a lot of Dragon Ball Z characters would be pure fighting type. As for so, Yamcha would be a pure fighting type alongside Krillin. Tien learned how to be fighting psychic type because he used his mind to create his third eye. And actually, a lot of Dragon Ball characters could also be fighting, but it would be kind of boring to make all the Dragon Ball characters the same type as Goku, which of course. Next is Piccolo, grass type because he's a Namekian, and Namekians only drink water, and yeah, considering that Namekians don't need to eat, and are green, they'll probably be grass type and fighting type. Kind of like in the Dragon Ball game. Or psychic type. Because they can use their mind for powers. Gohan will be the same type as Goku alongside Vegeta. We can actually make all the Saiyans the same type. Fighting type, of course, obviously. And possibly fire type. Because they can turn electric type, obviously, because Super Saiyan is yellow. And blue, of course, for Super Saiyan God, and Psychic for Ultra Instinct, obviously, for Goku. The next character, Trunks, would also be the same type as Vegeta, Goku, and all the rest of the cast above. Basically, all of the main Dragon Ball Saiyans would be this type. So, yeah, Android 18 will be Steel type because he's an android, and Fighting type because he fights. Yeah, this is pretty easy. Goten would be the same type as Goku because he's literally the same. He's literally Goku's son. Same thing with Gohan. Beerus destroys things. Wouldn't he be fighting Doc? He's also a glutton as shown because he always wants to eat. He only cares about eating. He never wants to fight. He never wants to fight for anyone else's sake. Reese would be a fighting fairy type, however, because he's literally called an angel. So yeah, Beerus would be a dark type because his whole purpose is to destroy stuff. And yeah, Beerus is necessarily not evil, but his job is to destroy things. So yeah, destroying things would basically mean, yeah, he's a dark type, essentially. And we already gone over. So the villains of the Dragon Ball Z, you know, Red Ribbon Army would mostly be steel types because they use weapons, guns, and normal type because they're just normal people. The first character is Dr. Dro. He would be steel fighting type along with the other androids because he is a robot. And all the android characters would be this type. Yes, all these android characters. Tao would be a fighting dark type because Tao is an evil person. Tao is his little kanji back says kill you. Yeah, he would be fighting dark type because he's evil. Next is Piccolo. He would be the same type as Piccolo, the other Piccolo, but instead this Piccolo would be dark fighting because he is evil Piccolo. And good Piccolo would be grass fighting because he is he's better, he's a good person. And also Piccolo is even Demon King Piccolo. So yeah, he is. Then it's Frieza's army. So yeah, we yeah, Frieza's army. There's a lot of characters in his army, but we'll be going over Frieza, Cooler, and King Cold. The Frieza race would be Ice type because it's the name pun, and Dark type because Frieza is evil, or Fighting type because of course Frieza fights. But I didn't want to make the type too easy for everybody. But Frieza is essentially an evil character, so of course the Dark type is Morphine or Dark Fighting or Ice Fighting because he's ice. And because his name is Frieza, he's or a more famous one is fighting Dark. But we already have several fighting Dark types, and yeah. So and then we have Frieza's army essentially. Or yeah, the Ginyu Force, like for example, most of them would be either fighting psychic with Gildo would be fighting psychic, Birdo would be fighting electric since he has proclaimed himself as the fastest in the universe. Zace would be fighting dark because he's on Frieza's side. Captain Ginyu would be fighting psychic because he contains bodies, which is using his mind, transferring his mind to people. Or he could be normal type because he can transform and he can steal other people's bodies. But I think fighting Dark is more Fane. And Raccoon would be thus fighting Dark as well. And Zarbon will be fighting Dark because he's evil along with Zarbon. So yeah, no, not Zarbon. I already repeated him myself. The Doria, the other guy. Yeah, they'll both be fighting Dark because they're on Frieza's side. Raditz would be the same type as Goku. Nappa would be the same type as all the other, Saiyan characters. Yeah. Next is Cell. Cell would of course be bug fighting. Or dog fighting because he's an evil guy, but bug fighting is more better because he's a bug. Obviously, his first form is even referred to as Bug Cell. And yeah, Bug Cell could be bug fighting, and Perfect Cell could be dark fighting because he has achieved perfection. He's no longer a bug. Oh yeah, Mr. Popo, he's pure dark type because he's Mr. Popo. He is the most evil character in Dragon Ball Z. Broly, it depends on which film. Broly would be fighting fire because he is same with all the other Super Saiyans fighting fire or fighting electric. Babidi would be pure dark type. Majin means evil. The boar would also be would be dark fighting because the boar can fight and he is, Majin Buu, good Buu is fairy type. Evil Buu would be fairy fighting because he's good Buu. But evil Buu, and all the other Boos, Kid Buu would be pure fighting because basically he is, but Super Buu and Evil Buu and Fat Buu, not Good Buu, which is a separate character, the Buu for that is friends of Mr. Satan, after that separates from the Good Buu who separates from the Evil Hat Buu. Yeah, Evil Buu, for example, would just be dark fighting because he isn't good, he is evil. And of course, Goku Black would be dark fighting because he is an evil version of Goku, and Zamasu because he is a Kai but he has turned to the dark side. He would either still be fairy fighting because there is a fairy dark type, or fairy dark fighting because he is evil. He wants to kill everybody. And yeah, there's of course a supporting cast. Oolong would be normal type because he's just a pig. Basically, he is a pig, and he does have shape-shifting, so he would be possibly part psychic. Paro can fly, so he'll be normal flying. Even though you won't be able to fly on top of his back because he'll die. Chi would be normal type. Fighting in the earlier Dragon Ball Z, Ox King, he's basically just a normal person. Yeah, he's normal. Once he has a gun, he always has a gun with her, so he is. Once when he has in a blue hell phase would be fairy type or something because he is, not evil, and evil wants to be dark steel because he has a gun. Chaozu would be psychic type. Simple as that. Psychic type because he is a psychic. Dr. Breeze would be the same type as Bulma. Korn, he is a cat. He would be psychic because he has a lot of knowledge. And he is immortal too, so he uses his brain to, become normal. He is a psychic type, so he uses his psychic powers to stay immortal. So he would be psychic type. Yajirobe would be fighting type. Would be dark type or fighting type. Mr. Popo, obviously, we all know Mr. Popo's dark type because he is, TFS Mr. Popo would be is the most evil character in the entire show. And it's very fitting that Mr. Popo, of course, would be dark type because he is an evil, eerie character that is very intimidating towards everybody else, including the dragon himself. We all know Mr. Popo is the most dangerous character in Dragon Ball. That's why no one tried to get rid of Mr. Popo. But realistically, Mr. Popo would be fairy type because he's a very kind person. But TFS Mr. Popo would always be dark type. Because, the Namekians would probably be grass fighting. Along with Kami would be fairy fighting or fairy grass because Kami is basically the guardian deity of the earth, basically becoming that type. Dende would be a psychic type because he can use his powers. He doesn't fight at all. Psychic grass because he doesn't fight. Android 17 would be the same type as Android 18. Mr. Satan would be pure fighting type. Don't have to explain that one. He does fights. Videl would also be pure fighting type because she's Mr. Satan's daughter. Mr. Boo, and there's some other characters. Pan would be the same type as, yeah, you get the point. Oob would be fighting type. Yeah, a lot of Dragon Ball Z characters would be fighting type. So yeah. And a lot of Dragon Ball Z characters would be the same types. The Kais would be fairy types because they are the guardians of the world and stuff. Monaka, he would be normal type because he's just a normal person that was put into the fighter thing. Oh yeah, and Farmer Vasakon, he's also normal type. We can't forget about Farmer Vasakon, the most important Dragon Ball Z character of all time. And of course, there's a lot more characters introduced in Dragon Ball Super. And Senran, of course, would be Dragon type. So yeah, a lot of Dragon Ball Z characters, it's pretty easy to see what types they are. And we're not going to go into Dragon Ball Super, as there's a lot of characters introduced in Dragon Ball Super that are in the Tournament of Power, and we'll go all day explaining those characters. So, and this video is already 12 minutes and 22 seconds long. So yeah, that's basically it. Goodbye.